Hello, I'm Wendy. Today I will show you how to make these elegant pearl earrings, which you can easily turn into a matching bracelet. I did make them in different colors because as much as I like the pearl with the royal blue crystals, I also wanted to see how they would look with this gorgeous red crystal. The materials for the earring and the bracelet are pretty much the same. I am using size 8 round seed beads in gold color, size 4mm white pearls, and size 6mm crystals. I am using royal blue for the earring and red for the bracelet. For the earring, we'll be using this 8x12 pearl teardrop and also an earring stud. For the bracelet, we'll use a chain extender and a lobster clasp. For the earring, I will be using 26 gauge wire because I need to put the wire through this teardrop twice, and if I use a thicker wire, it wouldn't fit. For the bracelet, I am using 24 gauge wire. Since we'll be wearing it on our wrist and moving it around a lot, I do want to use sturdier wire. Let's start with the earring. I have 6 inches of 26 gauge wire. I will start by putting the size 8 seed bead in the middle of this wire and then bending the wire. I am using a chain nose plier to squeeze the wire because I really want the seed bead to be right in the middle. You see how the seed bead is straight in the middle because we used the chain nose plier to squeeze the wires, and when we put this teardrop through, the teardrop sits nicely right on top of that seed bead. The seed bead is not slanted or anything like that. Next step is we'll put a size 8 seed bead through both of the wires, sitting on top of the teardrop. We'll spread open the wires so that we can add the crystal and the pearls. We will add 1 crystal to one wire and 4 pearls to the other wire. Bring the wires together and shape the pearls so that it is curved around the crystal. Next, we'll add another seed bead through both wires and spread the wires open again so that we can add the crystal and pearls. This time, we'll add the crystal and pearls on opposite sides from the first one. Again, we'll bring the wires together and shape the pearls so that it is curved around the crystal. Massage the wires so that everything is straight and aligned. We will add our last seed bead through both wires again, and then I'm going to compare it to the first one I made to make sure that they are consistent in shape and length. And now we are going to create a loop like I did here so that we can add the earring stud. Place the wire on a round nose plier and then bend the wire around the round nose plier so that it forms a circle. Now put the earring stud through both wires, bringing it to the loop that we just formed. Using a chain nose plier, hold down on the loop while we wrap the wire around. Wrap the wire around 2 to 3 times and then we'll cut off extra wires. You want to place the wire cutter as close as possible to the wire before cutting it off, and then we'll use a chain nose plier to flatten any wire that may be sticking out. And here is the completed earring. Next, we'll make the bracelet, which is very similar. For a size small bracelet, I am using 10 inches of 24 gauge wire. For medium, you want to use 11 inches and 12 inches for large. Place the wire side by side and then straighten it a little bit. I'm going to create a loop on one side. Just like before, place the wire on a round nose plier and then bend the wire to create a circle. Put the lobster clasp through the loop before closing it. Now that the lobster clasp is inside the loop, I'm going to hold down the loop with the chain nose plier and then wrap the wire around. We will wrap it around 2 to 3 times like before. We'll cut off any extra wire and then using a chain nose plier, we'll flatten any wire that is sticking out. The steps from here are pretty much similar to the earring, where we will put a seed bead through both wires first, and then we'll add a crystal to one wire and 4 pearls to the other wire. Bring the wires together and shape the pearls so that they are curved around the crystal. We'll add another seed bead through both wires, and then we will add a crystal and 4 pearls to the wires again, adding them to the opposite side of what we just did earlier. Now we'll shape the pearls again so that they are curved around the crystal. From here on, we'll repeat these steps of adding a seed bead through both wires and then adding a crystal to one wire and 4 pearls to the other wire, alternating sides each time. For your reference, for my size small bracelet, I did 9 of these, so 9 crystals and 36 pearls. For a medium, you might need to do 10 to 11, and for a large, 11 to 12 crystals. Next, we'll create a loop on this end of the bracelet. The chain I am using, you can actually open it, so I don't need to add this to the loop before closing the loop. But if you can't open your chain, then you'll want to add it to the loop before closing the loop. Since I don't need to put the chain here, I'll keep the round nose plier in the loop so that the circle stays as round as possible. And now I'm going to bend the wire and wrap it around 2 to 3 times. Now we'll cut off any extra wires again and flatten any wire that is sticking out with the chain nose plier. Add the chain to the loop. When closing the chain, make sure you close it as much as possible. Since we are using 24 gauge wire, which is pretty thin, it can easily fall off if there's a gap. We are done with the bracelet. I always find it hard to put on bracelets, so here's a trick that I use to help put on my bracelets. I definitely like the royal blue more than the red. What do you think? Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye!